Listen closely, because this is where most people lose the game before it even starts. The world is full of excuses. Excuses for why you're not where you want to be, excuses for failures, excuses for inaction, and excuse after excuse for why your dreams get put off until tomorrow. But let me be absolutely clear, success doesn't care about your excuses. The universe only respects one language: action. While others are busy talking about what could go wrong, listing all the obstacles standing in their way, or waiting for the right moment to feel ready, winners get to work. If you want to stand at the top of your life, looking down at the achievements you've built, you have to eliminate the word excuse from your vocabulary and replace it with action. Here's your hook. Imagine what your life would look like if, for the next 12 months, you refuse to let any excuse hold you back. What if, instead of thinking about what you didn't have, you became obsessed with using what you do have, your work ethic, your discipline, your vision, as weapons to carve out the life you want? Excuses are comfortable. They're easy. They let you off the hook, convince you that failure is someone else's fault or the result of circumstances out of your control. But here's the truth. Every time you make an excuse instead of taking action, you're giving your power away. You're declaring that the world owns your outcome, not you. Winners don't have more time or fewer problems. They simply act in spite of the challenges. They run toward responsibility, chase down their weaknesses, and force themselves into the uncomfortable spaces where growth happens. No weather, no lack of resources, no criticism, nothing stands in the way of a mind that has decided to move. If you trip, get up faster. If you fail, learn quicker. Never lose 2 days to the same mistake. Every hour wasted blaming, every moment spent thinking, I can't, is a moment someone else is out there grinding, turning your excuses into their own opportunities. Action is where transformation happens. Momentum is built by movement, not talk. Winners turn every excuse into fuel for action. They never let obstacles stand between them and their goals. In the relentless pursuit of success, the first challenge isn't the world outside, it's the battle raging inside your own mind. Most people train themselves to look for reasons why something can't be done. They collect excuses like trophies, parading them as justification for why they didn't push harder, why they didn't start, why they're not living at the level they secretly crave. The champion, however, hears those same excuses and instantly transforms them into raw energy. Where others see boundaries, winners see a roadmap for action. Every "I can't" becomes "watch me." Every "it's impossible" becomes "I'll find a way." Here's your hook. Imagine if every time an excuse popped up, you didn't just ignore it. You used it as a trigger to work twice as hard, grind deeper, and prove to yourself and everyone else that nothing can stop you. Most people fold when life gets uncomfortable or challenging. They let setbacks become a narrative for quitting, surfacing every possible reason to give up. The relentless competitor, the one determined to win, understands that excuses are nothing but opportunities disguised as problems. Every obstacle you face is a chance to build grit, skill, resilience. And every time you act instead of explaining, your momentum multiplies. Look at the legends in any field. Their pasts are riddled with reasons why the world told them no. Lack of money, lack of support, hostile environments, fierce competition. None of these things stopped the ones hungry enough for greatness. They used every barrier as leverage, turning adversity into advantage and obstacles into stepping stones. This isn't some motivational cliché. It's the exact playbook winners use to dominate their arena. Excuses become a fire, burning away weakness and forging a spirit that thrives on overcoming rather than complaining. Here's another hook. What if your most pressing challenge right now is the test you need to unleash your full potential? Instead of avoiding the hard work or blaming the circumstances, take it head on and outwork every excuse that your mind throws at you. Champions reprogram their thinking. They're not interested in blaming, shifting responsibility, or saving face. Their actions speak for themselves, and the only justification they need is the result. While others are searching for comfort, the champion pursues difficulty. Knowing every new problem gives rise to a stronger, smarter, more dangerous version of themselves. Make this real in your life. Every day, excuses will try to steal your time, your focus, your energy. Treat those excuses as direct orders to take action. Turn doubt into commitment, obstacles into innovation, negativity into relentless pursuit. Refuse to let anything, Not fear, not failure, not lack. Break your will to win. Start asking yourself, how can I use this setback to advance? Force yourself to see every roadblock as a lesson in determination and creative problem solving. The difference between the crowd and the champion is what you do when things get tough. Are you collecting reasons to quit or turning every reason into fuel to go further? Never forget, the world doesn't reward explanations, it rewards results. Every excuse you demolish builds your reputation and compounds your power. Excuses die the minute you refuse to entertain them and choose to act instead. The more you move forward, the more you become addicted to progress, and suddenly obstacles lose their power. In the end, the only obstacles that matter are the ones you refuse to challenge. Make this your moment. Be the one who acts, who rises, who turns every excuse into a new milestone on the journey to winning big. Let your actions answer every question, silence every critic, and set you apart as the champion who never lets anything stand between you and victory. Taking relentless action separates champions from the rest. Talk means nothing without results to back it up. There's a fundamental law in the world of achievement: words alone don't create impact. Action does. Every day is flooded with people who talk about their intentions, who tell the world what they want to become or plan to do. The loudest voices in mediocrity are the ones constantly explaining, rationalizing, and promising greatness, all while their feet barely move. Champions, on the other hand, don't just speak, they execute. Their entire life is a demonstration of relentless movement toward their goals. They operate with urgency, attacking challenges before anyone else even wakes up to think about them. Here's your hook. Imagine if, starting now, you put twice as much energy into taking action as you do into telling others what you'll do. What would change? Suddenly, your progress would become undeniable. The gap between you and the crowd would widen with every move you make, not because you talked a better game, but because you outworked everyone who only made noise. Relentless action is what generates proof. It's the silent force that builds reputations, attracts new opportunities, and turns wishes into accomplishments. Champions don't waste time. Sometimes they act even before they understand the full picture because they know momentum is built in the doing, not the planning. People are naturally drawn to those who produce results, not excuses. You can post about your ambition all day, toss motivational quotes on every feed, but if your actions don't back up your message, you'll be invisible when it matters. Champions spend less time announcing their intentions and more time stacking wins, big and small, every single day. They keep the spotlight off words and on execution. The power lies in your calendar, in your routines, in the hard work nobody sees. It's every effort nobody expects you to make that sets you apart. Here's another hook. The next time you feel stuck, ask yourself, did I actually act, or did I just talk about acting? Every level you want to reach is locked behind doors that only open for consistent effort. Champions operate with a chip on their shoulder. They want results, not applause. They're willing to do the boring work, the daily grind, the repetitions everyone else skips. Their energy comes from forward movement. When others lose steam in conversation, winners gain momentum in motion. They're addicted to progress, the adrenaline rush of building, conquering, refining, winning. Relentless action leaves no room for regret. Champions move quickly after setbacks, refuse to sit in silence pondering mistakes, and learn while they build rather than sitting forever in planning mode. They understand that the timing will never be perfect and answers will never be fully clear until you act and adjust in real time. The average person waits for motivation, waits for clarity, waits for time to be right, not the winner. Winners use action to force clarity, create new opportunities, and stir up the motivational fire from within. In the arena of achievement, visible results are the only proof the world respects. Everything else is just noise. Make every day count by being a creator, not just a commentator. Let your actions carve your story into the world. Develop a relentless bias for movement, for process, for execution. When you face a challenge, act before you even allow doubt to surface. Let your habits become louder than your words, your results speak louder than any speech, and your progress eliminate any need for explanation. Move first, talk later, because champions are measured by results, not by promises. The scoreboard only counts what you actually do. Make it count. Progress is made by those who move forward regardless of fear, uncertainty, or imperfect conditions. The path to greatness is littered with doubt, confusion, and 100 reasons why you should wait for tomorrow. Most people let these obstacles paralyze them, holding back as they wait for clarity, confidence, or perfect timing. Yet the one trait separating high performers from the rest is their willingness to advance, even when the road ahead seems dark and the map is incomplete. Winners shape destiny through motion, not by waiting for the universe to give them a sign. They know the only way to conquer fear is to move directly into it, and that every ounce of progress is earned by those too stubborn to wait for certainty. Here's your hook. Imagine never letting doubt hold you hostage. What if you accepted that every step toward your dream would be tainted with anxiety, risk, and occasional chaos, yet still pressed forward anyway? Champions operate with a do-it-anyway mentality. They take leaps without total assurance, bet on themselves in moments where the outcome is unclear, and use confusion as motivation rather than a signal to pause. The greatest achievements in history were not the result of safe, calculated moves. They came from individuals who pressed on, making sense of things as they built, learned, and adapted in real time. Most people see uncertainty as a stop sign. Champions see it as a green light. They realize that waiting for perfection is just another disguise for procrastination. The world belongs to those who start messy, fail fast, and improve as they go. Progress doesn't require confidence. It breeds it. Every time you step forward, even when you're scared, you teach yourself that you're stronger and more resourceful than you thought. Messy action will always produce more growth than flawless inaction. Winners understand that very few decisions in life come with a guarantee, so they don't ask for one. They trust that their willingness to act will eventually yield clarity, success, and fulfillment. Here's another hook. The difference between average and extraordinary isn't talent, it's audacity. It's showing up day after day, taking action in the face of panic, and learning to dance with discomfort. Champions don't believe in readiness. They move knowing that taking action is what forges readiness and creates the momentum that pulls them into the future they desire. They are obsessed with process and improvement, not just when things feel safe, but especially when the outcome is foggy. Each new attempt sharpens their skills and expands their vision. Fear and confusion become invitations to grow. Winners recognize that the market, the game, the competition rarely cares whether they feel secure and confident. The universe rewards the ones who act, period. Champions build routines for forward movement. They set micro goals, push boundaries, and stack wins, even if they're small, in situations where others would hesitate, freeze, or plan forever. Progress is an addiction for the relentless. Every move forward, every lesson learned in discomfort, every triumph over hesitation compounds and drives them to new heights. They don't wait for external permission or a sign from fate. They make their own fate by becoming immune to uncertainty. Every time you feel stuck, ask yourself, is fear my compass or my cage? The extraordinary use anxiety as a trigger to leap, knowing the only way through is action, and the only way to win is momentum. Be the one who acts before feeling ready, who moves before the plan is perfect, who refuses to live a life paused by uncertainty. Let progress be your answer to every question. Let movement become your commitment to yourself. Those who move forward regardless of fear are the ones who leave the biggest legacy. They outgrow every competitor trapped by hesitation, and they prove every single day that motion wins over talk, anxiety, and indecision. Let your next step forward be a declaration nothing can stop someone obsessed with progress. Accountability is power. Own every outcome and never blame anyone else for where you are. Most people spend their lives weaving a web of blame. They point fingers at circumstances, economics, upbringing, the opinions of others, and even luck to justify their position in life. What they fail to realize is that with every excuse, every bit of blame shifted, they hand their power away, brick by brick, until nothing is left but resentment and regret. Champions understand that greatness starts with radical accountability, the bold decision to own every win, and more importantly, every loss. This level of ownership is not comfortable, but it is the highest form of personal freedom and the strongest foundation for success. Here's your hook. Imagine waking up every day knowing that the trajectory of your career, your health, your relationships, every part of your life is a direct result of your choices and actions. not anyone else's. That realization, as daunting as it is, unlocks a rare force inside you. You stop looking for rescue teams and start building your own ladder. Winners say, if my life isn't where I want it to be, then it's my job to fix it. This doesn't mean others never hurt you or that luck never plays a part. But champions know those factors are just distractions compared to what you can control. They see excuses as chains, shackling their dreams to someone else's behavior or society's whims. Accountability, in contrast, breaks those chains and hands you the keys. Owning every outcome means you can never again justify being stagnant, because you know no one else can change your story. You are holding the steering wheel. Champions don't complain about the cards they've been dealt. They master the hand, study the table, and carve out victories with the pieces available. There's no room for self-pity in their mindset. Every setback is an opportunity to analyze, adjust, and get stronger. They know that true power lies not in blaming others, but in confronting yourself. Did you do all you could? Did you operate at your highest standard, or just enough to get by? Owning the answer to those questions separates the elite from the mediocre. Here's another hook. When you announce to yourself, I am responsible for everything in my world, good or bad, you trigger massive shifts in your actions. Suddenly, there are no shortcuts, only the daily discipline required to improve, learn, and set a new trajectory. This commitment scares those who prefer comfort and mediocrity, but winners welcome it because it produces results, not just stories. The moment you embrace accountability, you start to notice new opportunities to level up. No boss, friend, or critic has the right to dictate what you can accomplish. Your results become a mirror for your effort and attitude. Accountability is not just about admitting faults, it's about celebrating your wins as well. When something goes right, champions don't chalk it up to luck. They know it was earned, cultivated, and fought for. This unshakable sense of responsibility becomes addictive. Over time, champions seek greater challenges, secure in the knowledge that win or lose, they will own the process and the outcome. It builds unbreakable confidence, a belief system rooted in proof, not empty hope. The next time you're tempted to point the finger, pause and reverse it. Ask, what more could I have done? This small change will transform adversity into leverage, setbacks into stepping stones, and dreams into tangible results. Champions believe this until you take full ownership of your journey. You can't wield true power over your future. Accountability is tough, but it's the only route to meaningful progress and genuine self-respect. Embrace it, and you'll become unstoppable. Because when you own your actions, you control your destiny. Every day becomes a choice to either rise or remain. Choose to rise. Your dreams can't survive on excuses. The world only rewards those bold enough to execute every single day. This is a law of achievement most people ignore because it creates discomfort. Excuses may comfort you in the moment, but they suffocate potential, kill ambition, and quietly erode every vision you have for your life. Champions know that dreaming big is not enough. If you want to rise, your goals must be protected by relentless execution, by taking meaningful action regardless of interruptions, setbacks, or distractions. Your boldness in the pursuit of your dreams separates you from the crowd that settles for mediocrity. Here's your hook. What if every excuse you ever made became the very wall blocking your destiny? Every time you choose comfort over risk or laziness over effort, you lay another brick in front of your own aspirations. You must become the kind of person whose dedication to daily action turns dreams into reality, whose habits, discipline, and urgency show the world you mean business. Most people talk about what they want, fantasize about success, and wait for inspiration. Winners reject that weakness. They become obsessed with protecting their ambitions and making execution a non-negotiable part of their DNA. You need to be bold, so bold that your actions embarrass your excuses and silence your inner doubter. Champions fill their calendar with priorities. They move quickly from idea to launch. From vision to reality, your dreams require momentum and proof, not just passion. Treat every single day as a test of your resolve. Will you act when nobody is watching, when the motivation fades, when progress slows, when circumstances aren't ideal? Those who build empires and inspire others do so because they refuse to let reality be shaped by anything except execution. Excuses are nothing but permission slips to settle for less than you deserve. They are comforting stories you tell yourself to rationalize the easy path. But every big dream has a price paid in bold decisions, brave actions, and ruthless follow-through. Most people want guarantees. They want safety before they move. The truth is, the world respects movement and rewards results. If you want what few have, you must do what few are willing to do. Execute when you're tired, when you're unsure, when you're outnumbered, and when it doesn't look like progress is possible. That's how empires are built. Here's another hook. Consider the most exciting ambitions you have, the ones that make your heart beat faster, that keep you up at night. Can those dreams withstand a life of excuses, hesitation, or delay? Of course not. Give your dreams a fighting chance by acting boldly every day, by refusing to let setbacks slow your momentum, by showing the world that you aren't just a talker, but a doer. Every morning is an opportunity to add evidence to your journey. Make sure that every evening finds you closer to your goal because of action, not stuck in the same place, still making excuses about why you didn't begin. Every reward, every milestone, every inch of progress is the direct result of bold action in the face of obstacles and disappointment. Winners know that the only security is self-respect earned through work, through pushing boundaries, persisting during dry spells, and executing even when the odds seem impossible. Don't just ask if your dreams can survive the world, ask if they can survive your excuses. If you want to create something remarkable, protect your ambitions with daily commitment. Let excuses die in your pursuit and make bold execution your legacy. Let every step forward declare to yourself and others you are here to win, not just to wish. Refuse to wait for the right time. Make now your moment and act with conviction until you win. The brutal truth is that there will never be a perfect moment. Not for business, not for growth, not for transformation. The perfect time is an illusion crafted by procrastination and fear, two of the most dangerous enemies of success. The people who win in this world are not those waiting for the stars to align. They are the ones who turn ordinary moments into opportunities by acting despite uncertainty. Champions live by one rule: F not now, when? Because every second wasted waiting is a second stolen from your potential. The longer you wait, the weaker your momentum becomes, and momentum is everything in the pursuit of greatness. Here's your hook. What if this moment, right now, is the moment that could change your entire life, but you never acted because you thought it wasn't the right time? That's the mistake average people make. They overthink, they plan endlessly, and they disguise fear as strategy. Winners know that action breeds clarity. While others are standing still trying to figure everything out, the strong move, adjust, and evolve. Waiting kills dreams. The world rewards speed, decisiveness, and execution. Champions understand that life doesn't pause for doubt. It accelerates past those who hesitate. Acting now, with conviction and adaptability, is what separates winners from excuses. Every great story you've ever admired started in imperfection. No one begins with perfect skill, perfect resources, or perfect circumstances. The difference is simple. The successful chose to begin anyway. They didn't have time, they made time. They didn't have confidence, they built it through effort. The timing wasn't convenient. It became convenient because they committed. Waiting delays growth, action creates it. When you start moving, reality bends to your effort. You attract opportunities, people, and possibilities that would have remained invisible if you'd stayed frozen in hesitation. The right time doesn't exist. It's created through movement, persistence, and unwillingness to accept stagnation. Here's another hook. The clock is ticking whether you act or not. And every day spent waiting is a day someone else uses to get ahead of you. There are people right now with fewer resources, less talent, and more obstacles still pushing, building, and executing while others keep saying, soon. Champions know that starting before you're ready forces growth. It's uncomfortable, yes, but discomfort is the birthplace of excellence. Acting when everything is uncertain demands courage, and courage is exactly what shapes legacies. Fear becomes powerless in the face of decisive motion. Those living in hesitation never realize how much strength they lose in their waiting. Action builds rhythm, rhythm fuels confidence, and confidence becomes momentum. Winners use that cycle to dominate every area of their life. Champions train themselves to act quickly, to trust their instincts, and to adapt as they move. Perfectionism kills more dreams than failure ever will, because you can fix a mistake, but you can't fix a moment you never seized. Acting now with conviction says, I refuse to live on pause. There is no later. There is only now, and what you do with it defines who you'll become. If you want to change your life, stop waiting for motivation and start building it through movement. You'll never feel fully ready, but readiness isn't the point. Progress is. Momentum is a weapon, and those who harness it control their destiny. Every great success starts with a single bold decision to stop deliberating and start doing. The confidence you want will come from consistency. The opportunities you dream about will come once you show the world you're serious enough to act. Winners don't hope for the right time, they create it. This is your wake-up call. Act like the moment is now, because it is. Conviction beats hesitation every time, and the ones who seize today never wonder what could have been. So, moving forward, let your every decision be a declaration to yourself and the world. No more excuses, only action. Make your hunger for your goals louder than your reasons not to start. When discomfort hits, move anyway. When you feel doubt, act anyway. When circumstances aren't perfect, push anyway. Those who conquer life don't wait for the winds to change. They become the storm. In the end, you'll look back and realize that every excuse you crushed beneath your ambition was another stone laid in the foundation of your empire. Excuses are for the crowd. Action is for the champion. Be the champion.